Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Gomer. Already a grave and growing and existential threat to Israel, a nuclear-armed Iran would be a colossal, horrific game changer. It would launch a nuclear arms race in what is already the world's most dangerous neighborhood. We all know that this must not be allowed to happen. The Islamic Republic of Iran's nuclear ambitions are made more dire when considering that they are the world's most dangerous state supporter of Islamic extremist terrorism, with a destabilizing presence in Lebanon, in Syria, and in Iraq. And Iran's financial and military support for the Houthi rebels in Yemen has already led to the collapse of the government. Thus, Iran today exerts major influence, not just in rebel territories, but in 4 Middle East capitals: Beirut, Baghdad, Damascus, and Sana'a. The crisis in Yemen threatens to launch yet another civil war in the region, and this severely handcuffs U.S. counterterrorism operations against AQAP. Islamists in Iran and elsewhere repeatedly threaten to slaughter all standing in their way, with their ultimate targets being Israel and the United States, us, their great Satan. They must never be allowed nuclear weapons capabilities. Does anyone really doubt whether they would use these capabilities someday? Well, there must be some reason why Iran is developing ICBMs. Last week, Iran's Channel 2 broadcast satellite imagery showing recently constructed missile-related sites. Those sites included a launch pad capable of firing an ICBM. And on that launch pad was a never-seen-before missile measuring 27 meters in length. While we negotiate, the Iran story gets worse. We've been extending deadlines and softening sanctions on Iran while they fail to meet their end of the bargain. It's bizarre to me that we are debating with the Iranians the numbers of their centrifuges, but leaving off the table their support for terrorism, their ICBMs, and their continued human rights violations. It is the right thing to do, in my view, to sit across the table. It is remain silent about the cost we and our allies have paid and are paying because of their financial and military support of our enemies? Does this make sense? Shouldn't we insist on adding to the agenda Iran's destabilizing actions in the region and also their ICBM program that puts us all at risk? Merely delaying some of the potential horror for a decade or so is not a good option, in my view. A bad deal where we declare victory by kicking this can down the road is far worse than no deal at all. Iran now threatens to end nuclear talks if Congress increases sanctions against their regime. I say we must never yield to threats from Iran or any other nation. We must stand strong, continue sanctions, and even strengthen them until Iran gets the message. I believe that strengthening sanctions will get us a better deal. Leverage produces a better deal. And we must remain unwavering in our support for Israel. We must listen carefully to the concerns of Prime Minister Netanyahu on this subject. And I hope we unite with our Arab partners and do all that is possible to prevent Iran from going nuclear. We must lead the civilized world in this crucial mission. I think this is our destiny. We urge President Obama to join with Congress in this resolve. Thank you to Representative Gohmert, and I yield back.